All right, welcome everybody. We got a full house here for our Money in the Bank preview show. I am your host from the mean streets of Syracuse, New York, the mean queen, Sarah Visick.
And I am Bryan Bella from Portland, Oregon.
Hey everybody, I'm Orlando from Fort Lauderdale.
And hailing from Luton, United Kingdom, the host of the Chop Shop, the one Walsh Meister, Luke Anthony Walsh. Bada bing, bada boom. How are you all doing? Money in the bank, money in the bank. I'm so pumped. It's bank day, baby. It's almost time to find who will be Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. And oh my, what a card we've got to look forward to.
Yes.
Definitely one of the better pay-per-views, I have to say.
Yes, it is.
All right, so let's start off the kickoff show. The first match, the Usos defending the Mysterios defending the tag team titles against Jay and Jimmy Uso.
Hands up for anyone who thought that this match would actually be happening, let alone even considered 3 weeks ago. Say aye, because this is remarkable. Like if you'd said 3 weeks ago when Jimmy Uso had his DUI that he'd have a SmackDown Tag Team title match to potentially have a very important story progression with the whole Roman, head of the table, we'd be laughing our heads off. So the fact that now we're at a point where, they are plausibly going to take the titles off Ray and Dominic, who, don't get me wrong, they've had a fairly decent title run. They've just not been given too many tag teams to be facing against. But it's such a question of will WWE put the titles on them or even keep them off them and maybe tease a dissension within the family. It's such a tight one to call.
That's actually a good point. I think if they were going to change titles, I think that they would have probably put it on the main card, not the opener. But who knows? I'm also not thrilled with Ray and Dominic as the tag team champions. I think that it was for story more than ability. I don't think Dom is ready yet. I think he's an incredible wrestler. I think that we need a little bit more time to actually get behind him and Ray to be able to fully embrace them as the tag champs.
Well, absolutely. If they were going to swap the title, they should have done it 48 hours ago on SmackDown. That would have been the time to make the pop and try. Obviously, with the crowds being back, that would have been a perfect time to really give the tag team title just more of a thing on Fox.
Absolutely.
It was nice to see Dominic, finally get a pop. Finally wrestling in front of a live TV crowd. They were happy to cheer for him, it looked like, as well.
Mm-hmm. I don't think the Usos are getting the titles yet because they just announced it. And I'm thinking that they're probably going to say that for SummerSlam. I mean, I could be wrong, maybe. I mean, it's also depending on the plans that they're going to do. It's just are they going to turn one of the Usos against each other? Or they're going to have them still as a team? I mean, that's the question right there. So
I think it's fair to believe that whatever happens in this kickoff show will definitely impact what could happen later on in the card, which we'll come on to for sure.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
All right, so Orlando, you got the Mysterios. I got the Usos. I fully believe they're setting up for the bloodline to have all have gold. So I think the Usos win it here.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan, what do you think? Mysterios or Usos?
Mysterios.
I've gone Usos as well. I think that they might have the marbles to be able to push that line. And obviously, we've seen it before. Armageddon 2003, the Shield. We've seen it with the big factions. They've got to have all the gold at one point. But if Usos win, then it happens. If they lose, I'm going to save the part 2 for when we come on to Roman against Edge, because there's a lot I want to say. Believe me.
So let's hit off the other tag team match here. AJ Styles and Omos against the Viking Raiders.
War.
Now for me,
do you remember when we used to chant that in NXT? It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. I believe this is going to be the unexpected match of the night. I believe the Viking Raiders are going to put on a show. AJ Styles can really light it up, and that crowd is really looking to chant for Almost.
It's hard for me to actually predict because I'm like, yeah, I think that the Viking Raiders definitely should have it because, I mean, AJ and Almost aren't really going to do anything. Like, this is obviously a temporary storyline just to keep them on TV until, a title match comes in for AJ or whatnot. So it's kind of like, are they going to put AJ in its top spot now? Or that's what it really comes down to, storyline-wise.
I mean, I think they still keep the titles. I think there's still a few matches left for them until Almost is ready to, carry himself. I think he's got a little bit more training, and AJ Styles is there to help hide his weaknesses.
And plus, they're going back on the road, so maybe he'll get some reps while he's back on the road. So maybe once they see like if he's doing well on the road, then maybe they'll. But also, you have to think about like Riddle and Randy Orton. Are they going to be the ones that are going to be the tag team champions? Like, what is their story? So, there's. I like the fact that there's like certain matches that we're like questioning each direction that it's going, which is good. Because like if it goes this way, then maybe this may happen, or if it goes this way, it may go the other way. So it's very interesting. So, I'm still gonna say that AJ and Omos are gonna retain because I'm thinking that they're probably gonna have to feud with Randy and Riddle because that's the match everybody wants to see.
Yeah, I just want to come in on that. I mean, like the thing is with the Viking Raiders, War Experience, Viking Experience, whatever name you want to call them, on whatever day of the week it is that it's whether WWE are willing to take them seriously again. Their tag team in NXT, incredible, phenomenal. Like I'll never forget, seeing them against the likes of DIY, seeing them against Aleister Black and Ricochet, amazing matches. But then rewind 12 months to Backlash 2020, and they were having that absolutely well. They had the greatest match ever again with the Street Profits, and then Akira Tozawa came out from out of nowhere. So it's whether WWE, when they are back on the road, they want to take the Viking Raiders seriously. Now, obviously, with AJ and Omos, they had a great reception at WrestleMania. Omos still has that enigmatic element to him where we don't know what he's fully capable of. He's just been stood there not doing much, but what he has done has been incredible. So, we got two teams who there's a lot of potential between the two. I think it'll be a retention for AJ and Omos. I think there's still mileage to go, and I think SummerSlam they might drop it to RK Bro or even the New Day, or let's have a good old-fashioned ladder match. I'd like to see that. I'm going for AJ and Omos.
Luke, you need to be a commentator. Like, I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're just going to be a commentator.
Well, this is what you get when you're being a radio broadcaster and personally for nearly 5 years. You sort of have to call it out how it is and call it down the middle. And I guess as a WWE fan, we've seen it come and go with tag teams who sort of ebb and flow. And it's so frustrating that we're at a point where there are so few like respectable tag teams in the whole division, both Raw and SmackDown, that we can't really say, well, it's going to go to these people and he's going to go this direction because there's not much to do. And even the idea of Matt Riddle and Randy Orton is still a bit bonkers to me, but they're somehow making it work. So who knows what's going to happen next? But AJ and Omos for sure.
Yeah, I could see that maybe. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I'm just intrigued that there's like different storylines that's going. So, but I'm still picking AJ and Omos because I'm thinking like they still haven't scratched the surface with them yet. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I actually agree. I think AJ and Omos are going to get it. Or
Now,
retain, rather.
Now, Luke brought up, having a ladder match for the tag titles. I want to know how many rungs would almost have to climb to reach the belt or a briefcase.
He just reaches up and grabs it.
That's true.
Because he's
watch how Pat
7'1".
McAfee milks that for eternity if they ever have a ladder match. They're like, what's he gonna do? He's 7 foot tall. He's just gonna have to reach up and grab it. They're gonna milk that. That's what they'll do.
I'm just wanting to like say like if they ever have like a survey and they want us to like say like are you annoyed with commentary saying. They should like stop saying he's huge. I've never seen anybody so big. I'm like, you've seen Big Show, you've seen the Great Khali. I mean, come on now.
Oh my!
Anyways, but yeah, I'm saying almost an AJ. Yeah, they're retaining.
Wait, Luke, who did you end up picking?
I've gone AJ and Omos for a retention. I think even Omos might get the pin here. I think it's unlike like it's even mad to think that we're still. I'm still trying to process it now. To the thought of the Viking Raiders taking a loss to Omos just completely squashing them. That's very much plausible. Like it's always like AJ can do all the work and can do all the high flying things, and then Omos comes in and just whack 1, 2, 3. That's they have to keep him strong. That's the main goal that with AJ and Omos. If they can keep Omos strong as this big 7-foot enigmatic superstar, then they're onto money. They're onto something that they can run with. And then if they ever want to split them up, there's your story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So next up, we'll go Bobby Lashley defending against Kofi Kingston, finally getting a rematch for the title.
Oh no, it's going to be one of those evenings, isn't it? I mean, like as much as we all missed Kofi Mania 2 years ago, it's going to be one of those evenings for Kofi Kingston.
But the thing is just that it's depending on where they put this match on the card. That's the thing. If it's the first match to start the pay-per-view, I don't mind Lashley winning. However, if it's within the middle or close to the end, then the direction's probably going to be very different. Like the outcome may be different. So I don't know.
It's got nothing to do with where it is in the card. It's essentially where the Money in the Bank, the men's one, is going to be in the card. If they're going to put the men's ladder match to open the main card, then I think by the time we come to the WWE or the Universal title match, we'll be shouting the words "cash in, cash in, cash in" over and over again. Mm-hmm. So it's very much plausible. But looking ahead to this one, we've all read the rumors and dirt sheets that Goldberg is coming in less than 24 hours from now, and he's coming for Bobby.
Which doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, it has to make sense. That's the thing. But, I mean, WWE, it never makes sense. But whatever.
Of course, Goldberg makes sense. Big boy versus big boy. Big boy bash. Go like that. That's how you sell it.
That's how Vince blows his load. Big boy versus the big boys.
I think I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon loves big sweaty men.
I've seen that movie too.
Here's how they do it. It's going to be, because Goldberg has one match left on his contract. Bobby's going to come out. He's going to say, there's nobody left for him to beat. He's beating everybody. He's going to say, maybe he goes, who's next? There's nobody next for me. Boom. That's when Goldberg comes out and says, I'm next. That would be the way to book it.
Yes, that's how it's happening.
Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so I'm saying Lashley's retaining. I mean, I would like another Kofi Mania, but I don't see it, though. That's the thing. I mean, I would love it if he has a second title reign, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a Bobby retention, but the last thing we all wanted for it to be a squash. Really, this needs to be about Kofi showing that he's still got it and can still be in the main title picture in 6 to 12 months' time, whoever the title holders may be. I mean, like, even if we get some interactions with the New Day, that would be interesting. But I think the main key point is this: where does MVP stand with Bobby Lashley? Because obviously, what we're seeing on the segment on Monday Night Raw, with that slight little tension between the two of them, is that MVP could quite easily screw Bobby Lashley or do an angle where he somehow interferes, maybe a DQ, something like that, where Kofi can still remain strong and the belt doesn't change hands. So there's that option, but yeah, Bobby Lashley is walking out with his WWE Championship firmly in his hand.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
I hate to agree because I just find Bobby Lashley boring and want him not to have the title. I would love for Kofi to take it, but I think you guys are right. I don't think they're going to change titles on Money in the Bank. Although I think they'd wait for one of the big four, but that may be too predictable. I don't know. I'm going to stick with Bobby, though. I think he's going to
What are you on about, Brian? Have you not been entertained by Bobby Lashley against Drew McIntyre 100 times in a row?
I love Drew. There's just something about Bobby that doesn't do it for me. Like I go to the bathroom when he's on, and I don't think he's untalented. I don't dislike him. It's just certain things
I mean, it could be a whole lot worse. ECW. It could be a whole lot worse. ECW. Could be much worse booking. ECW.
Actually, I didn't mind that booking of ECW, but it was just like because he was facing Vince McMahon and he was squashed in a sense. But like I don't know. It's just
Can we
like
not even
for me,
call WWE ECW? Like, come on now.
no. But like for me, it's just like I don't see them breaking up MVP. It would be stupid for them to break them up right now. I'm thinking that what happened is just that MVP is afraid of Lashley. I don't think he wants to screw his money ticket, so he's gonna follow what he's saying to him. Yeah, and then a lot of people are like saying like they're breaking up, but I don't see it.
I just want to come in, Orlando. Was it not a stupid idea to take Cedric Alexander away from him and sort of take the other?
But that's different. That's different. That's a stable though, because like MVP is his mouthpiece. So, that's why they saw like what they did with like Andrade and Selena. That was a big mistake right there. So I don't think they want to do that yet. So we shall see.
All right, so we'll move on to the Universal title match next. Roman Reigns against Edge.
Right, I'm gonna get my balls out here, and I'm gonna say it could be happening.
You're getting your what out?
I think I'm going to put my
I know,
marbles
right?
on the line.
I'm like, what?
I'm going to cash in my big call of the night. I don't think Edge could be winning. I think there's a reason why for the last couple of weeks where Edge has been so strong and so permanent within the booking and the way that he's been able to get a good stronghold and even putting in the crossface on Jimmy J and Reigns. And Roman tapped out. He physically tapped out to Edge. It could happen, and I want it to happen. I've got Edge beating Roman Reigns tonight, and I've got Edge against John Cena at SummerSlam. It's happening, people. It's coming home to Vegas. That is still what I'm going for because Vince wants money, and he's not going to get a bigger money match than Edge against John Cena for the Universal title. Come on.
I have to agree with our Sir Luke here. I think that Edge is going to get it because they're not going to have two championships on the line. And WWE's like, oh, this is our first live pay-per-view crowd with a live crowd and not have something to that extent. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Edge.
Very bold move. We'll see if it pays off.
Look. At the end of the day, and sort of going back to what Orlando said, it depends where they put this on the card. The last thing we want them to do is to put this match on before the men. So to put this match on after the men's Money in the Bank, because that then leaves the door open for it there to be a cash in, and then Edge becomes essentially a transitional champion. Now, obviously, the idea is if they put it on beforehand, Edge could quite easily win, but Roman Reigns could quite easily barge his way into the Money in the Bank a la Brock Lesnar and just take it for himself. And then suddenly you've still got the bargaining chip wherever they want to do it of bringing Roman Reigns straight back into the spot. So it all comes down to where it is on the card, but ultimately it depends on the cojones of Mr. Vincent K. McMahon on whether he can put a title on Edge and then have Edge against Cena in Vegas in about a month's time. That's essentially what they want to do.
I'm sorry to say this, but I think Vince is more wanting Roman versus Cena, and that's been the talk for several months now. So I don't think he'll have Edge being champion. I'm thinking. I have a feeling this is going to be like the main event of the show. And it's all depending on who wins the men's Money in the Bank. Like, I could see two people maybe win it because they have stories to tell from there. I can see that. But I'm just thinking that Roman's retaining. I I don't see anybody right now winning the title yet. I don't want Cena to win it either, but I mean, if that's the direction they're going at SummerSlam, I don't know.
I agree here. I don't think Roman's losing it tonight. Instead of saying bloodline. Maybe because you've heard the rumors of Roman versus Cena, and then they've obviously been building the storyline of Edge and Seth Rollins for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. And they could easily tell the story of Seth screwing Edge for the title, and so they could easily do that.
But then they could quite easily tell the story of Seth screwing Roman for the title, and
as
then
well,
all of a sudden
they could do that as well because I think they want to because how Seth has been acting the past month on SmackDown, it seemed like he's about to go to a face run again.
Yeah, it's so confusing. I'm trying to predict this because it's like I think I want.
No, but I like it. This is good. This is good because we're thinking of three or four different things, and that's good for the business.
It's that I want Edge to win. It's just that I don't know if that's oversighting my actual thoughts. I'm thinking that what's his name is going to win or retain Roman.
Roman, yeah.
But here's the thing: if Usos get the job done in the pre-show, then there's obviously going to be added pressure for them to keep the title on Roman, and then obviously they have the visual where all three of them hold the gold. But it's how much further do they want to go? We've talked on the Chop Shop before. Go listen, subscribe, and check it out. Is that are they really going to keep the title on Roman all the way to next April for The Rock to either take it off him or give him a good old match for it? It doesn't sink in with me. Like I'm going to say it. It's 10 years and a day since our Lord and Savior CM Punk famously took the title off John Cena and walked away with it in Chicago. Somebody like him in a moment like that, are they brave enough to do something like that again? That's something that is going to leave us speechless for weeks and months to come. And then obviously, about the man, are they brave enough to keep a main title on somebody for longer than 434 days? Are they willing to do long-term booking like that and keep it going and keep it believable? Because at the end of the day, we look at title reigns, from point A to point B about, this is where this stuff great, but where's the end? What's the point of putting this person in that title reign? But where's that believable person at the end of that line so that it can be passed on, and be believable, So it's going to be a tough one. I still want Edge to win. It'll be they have to play into the live crowd. It's the pop will be massive. I think they'll be stupid not to.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens.
So we're on it's 2 against 2 on that one.
Yeah. Me and Sarah are agreeing.
The other reason I've been trying to find this for a frame of reference, if you've seen Edge's new shirt, the star says iconoclasm on it. It means destroyer of religion or Messiah.
Come on,
Seth Rollins being the Messiah. I'm just saying.
That's true. That was his gimmick. Yeah. So now mind you, what they could do is they could do Edge versus Seth Rollins for the title, and they could just do Roman versus Cena, just a one-on-one match. They could do that as well. There are 4 ways they can go by this. So it's interesting. It's intriguing. It's just depending on where they put it. I'm excited. I'm anxious. So
next up, we got the one match. Really, I found hard to kind of predict, but I think I figured it out here. It's the Raw Women's Title match. Rhea Ripley, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Where do you guys see this one?
I think it's down to booking. I think it's ultimately what's next for Rhea? You know,
Becky.
Charlotte is
No, it has to be Becky.
inherently boring. But if WWE know they've got a big event to sell, they'll put the title on Charlotte Flair. 2016 and 100,000 people in Dallas, they put the title on Flair. First ever women's Hell in a Cell, the title was on Flair. 2019 in the MetLife Stadium, WrestleMania 35 main event, Charlotte Flair was in the main event carrying the title. That's what WWE do. She is the Brock Lesnar of the female division. So the thing is, Rhea Ripley doesn't deserve this at the end of the day. She deserves a far, far, far better. Like, bearing in mind how far she came, especially from the way that Charlotte beat her at WrestleMania last year in front of nobody, to where she is now, she's come a long way to fight her way back up, especially through NXT. So I'm going to concede and say Charlotte's going to take it. It'd be miserably boring to watch. Unless they have the marbles to do a cash-in. And all of a sudden, Alexa Bliss becomes...
No, then it's like 4 years in a row with the women. I don't want to see that. No. For the women, they need to save the cash-in for another time. They should not do a cash-in. If they think of a cash-in, then it's just like, it's horrible. I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to have like a bit of a rant when we do like a review on Tuesday. So I'm just letting you know.
And come check out the Chop Shop where you'll hear that review.
Yeah.
If there's a women's cash-in that night, we'll let you start off the show with a rant.
Probably. I don't know. For me,
they have to 45-minute show.
Yeah, exactly. For me, it has to be Rhea because I'm thinking they want to do Rhea versus Becky. That's new. That's interesting. Becky returns, you know. She's like the biggest face for the company, you know. And of course, like Rhea's kind of acting heelish, so you know you don't have to really turn her too much of a heel. She's already kind of heelish as it is. So
yeah, but if Becky Lynch was to come back in this match and surface, would it not be a heel turn for her to be thrown straight into the title picture?
No,
because it would be almost a sense of entitlement. A bit flairish to say, "Oh, I never really lost my title. Can I have a title shot, please?" You know, it's as much as you know Becky Lynch being there in the arena tonight. We're all speculating if she'll surface on screen. I don't think that they're gonna do a deliberate move like that. It would split the fans.
Wow, you gave me so much to think about there. No,
for those of us who know Bryan's thoughts on Becky, please explain or continue.
I'm going to have to go with Charlotte. I don't think she'll hold on to it long. I think she'll be a transitional one, but I think at this point you almost have to give it to her.
And I'm begrudgingly agreeing with Orlando here. I think Rhea retains.
Yeah.
I mean, if Rhea wins, it's a decisive victory, and she'll get the credit that she deserves. That's certainly for sure. But let's put it this way: we talk about making big money matches at the Elysian Stadium on the 21st of August. Flair versus Lynch, go again. You know, that's the money.
Hold on. Do you have like a list right there that you're looking at to like all these dates, or do you just have those memorized?
Oh, come on. WWE are going to be exploding 21st of August at the Legion Stadium all over the pay-per-view tonight. You know that's because, you know, it's 70,000 people in Vegas. They're going to have to sell the show, you know? And, you know, they want to make this to WrestleMania that they never got in Tampa, and they don't have to worry about lightning every half an hour. So they're going to push big and hard. And let's face it, Ronda Rousey just had a baby, or is having a baby.
She's still pregnant, due in September. So,
well, there you go. Ronda Rousey's out of action. What's the next best thing to go to make a big women's match? Oh yeah, Charlotte Flair against the one and only Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch is in good shape.
I have to agree with Luke on this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the right side versus the left side today.
Yeah, but however, you know, the way I've always explained it, in 90 to 95% of the time, whoever gets the upper hand on the go home show loses on the pay-per-view.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's typically how WWE books.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, it's just like, of course, we'll see Charlotte versus Becky for the millionth time because that's the safest bet for the Raw Women's title, and it will help the Raw Women's division. But
And I'm a huge Becky fan, so or a huge Charlotte fan, so I do want to see her win. But I just don't think it's going to happen.
But then going back to my fantasy booking a bit earlier is that if they drop Becky Lynch straight in the title picture and Becky goes, well, I want to face for the title and I never lost. Well, Flair can turn around and say, well, isn't that something I've been saying for an awful long time? And all of a sudden you've got a heel Becky Lynch against a face Charlotte Flair. You know? So
but she was never the champion, though. And Becky has a reason to challenge. I mean, it's like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, Charlotte left, like, she dropped the title to Io for the NXT title, and then she left, and then because she was healing up because she was injured, she just came back. She never won the title, so
WWE will fill in the blanks. They'll be like, yeah, this
of course,
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay, so the only way that I think Rhea is going to retain is if she ends up losing it before SummerSlam. I'm so
How? I'm going to push you for by which means does she lose it on Monday Night Raw between?
Yeah, I think that they'll ask for a rematch, and then somehow Charlotte will end up getting it. By SummerSlam, I think that Charlotte will be the champion, and I think that Luke is right. I think it's going to be Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Or we could be wrong, and Becky ends up going to SmackDown, but I don't know.
We'll see. Let's move on. We'll go to the Women's Money in the Bank title match first. I got Zelina Vega, Asuka, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss from Monday Night Raw. Or excuse me, Nikki Ash is also from Monday Night Raw. Zelina Vega is SmackDown, along with Liv Morgan. And then you've got the Women's Tag Champs, Natalya and Tamina.
Just call the graphic up there a second, Sarah. Just I want to. I mean, what 8 individuals we have here? Just a snapshot of how sideways, how excellently bonkers the WWE Women's Division is at the moment. From left to right, where'd you begin? Zelina Vega, she wasn't even hired by the company like 6 months ago. And here she is challenging for Money in the Bank.
You mean 3 weeks ago, though?
It's madness. You've got Asuka, who, of course, won it last year and then was handed the Raw Women's title. Do you remember when Asuka was, like, really good? Like, she beat the crap out of everybody and went on this incredible undefeated streak. And now she's just like, rah, rah, and doesn't do much. Yeah, that's her. If you just call the graphic back up and I'll go through the rest. You got Naomi, who... We've sort of teased on the Chop Shop that she could quite easily slip in to the to the Roman Reigns family storyline, and you know, adding a woman would make it very intriguing indeed. Because you know, when you're a female superstar and you got a bit of beef behind you, who's going to mess with you? Alexa Bliss, she's got my heart. I mean, like, I don't care what people think of Lillian and the way that she is now, but there's something about it that I'm just hooked into. There's something that they're clinging on to. I think it's the Fiend. I think there's something in there, but there's that intrigue to go, well, what if we did give her the briefcase? What could she do with it? So that there's that definite ball of energy there. Nikki Ash. I mean, she could have easily been fired 2 months ago. She's really been out of the picture, and you know, fair play. This is all her own booking and all her own idea to be an almost superhero. Fair play to her. And then we've got Liv Morgan. No, she's not winning. And then Natalya and Tamina. Yeah, they're in the match.
Don't disrespect those queens.
Always the bridesmaids, never the bride, because their surnames are Hart and Snooker. So it's got to be Alexa Bliss. I think it would be amazing if they give her the briefcase and something to work with. And I don't know how it'll happen. Let's have some spookums. Let's just have the briefcase just fall out of the sky and she just catches it and laughs, and you have the goop drop down, or do something like magically gory. Give her the briefcase. It's Alexa Bliss's night. She's good with briefcases too.
So who do you guys think wins?
I feel like they are going to give it to Alexa Bliss. Who I want to see, I actually want to see, there's actually three. I would love to see Asuka win it, but she won it last year, and I don't think that they're going to give her another title run just yet, so let's take her out. I would love to see Selena Vega or Liv Morgan win. I think that they both deserve that push. I would, more than anybody, I would love to see Naomi actually win and let her show her athleticism, because she deserves it probably more than anybody on that roster, with the exception of Tamina and Natalia, but they're not going to give it to them because they're already tag team. The only one that makes sense, because it's all about bookings, is Alexa Bliss.
I mean, if they give it on Selena Vega, it's going to be one hell of a mark of confidence in there. Bearing in mind, Shani came out a couple of weeks ago, and for all of the torment that she went through in real life that we all know about, it's no secret. And to where her partner now is Mr. Malachi back with like the word, it'll be a hell of a mark of confidence if they give her Miss Money in the Bank. I'll be honest, but that there's two or three, but Liv Morgan could easily be taken out backstage by somebody coming
Why
back.
it has to be Liv? Why can't it be the tag champs? It could be the tag champs. I mean, Alexa could be eliminated, and we're all going to be like, wait, who's going to take Alexa's place? Because, like, technically, like, she has beef with Eva and Dewdrop, because I just saw that Eva just landed at where the pay-per-view's at, so...
I hope not. I don't...
Well,
I mean,
I'm not saying...
Dewdrop gets it, that's fine. Like, we all love Piper, but, like, Eva just...
Mhm.
No.
Yeah. I mean... Like, for me, I would love it if Naomi wins it, but I want her to win it and then go to SmackDown to challenge Bianca for the title and take it from Bianca and then have a feud there. And plus, like, Naomi is a part of the family. She is married to Jimmy Uso, so...
But Orlando, the one point that I have with Naomi is I want to feel the glow again. I want to be the
I'm sorry, that glow...
I want to
Nope.
be raving during the summer with a gorgeous
Nope.
glowing women's belt.
Nope.
That's the Naomi. Do you know the other Naomi that I miss is the brave and adventurous one that would see in the Royal Rumble doing the Kofi Kingston spots and showing that she's got it in her. But when was the last time they did much with Naomi? 2017.
Mhm. Yeah.
She's just been in the right places at the completely wrong time.
Yeah. For me, I just want her to turn heel. I think it's time for her to turn heel. I think, she has every reason to turn heel because, like, with management and with the fans, especially with the fans and how they're attacking her with her husband, with his DUI, which is unfair, So she has every right to, like, turn heel and, I mean, but yeah, I'm agreeing with everybody that it will be Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa Bliss will probably be the one to win it.
Question for the three of you: had Bayley not been injured, would this be her night?
No.
No.
She was
I would
scheduled
love for it to
the
be
title.
Bayley. I'm actually turned into a huge Bayley fan in the last couple of months. I don't think that... I think that they want to get more people in the title picture before they give it back to Bayley.
Or they just move her to Raw, which is smart. I think the Raw needs her more than SmackDown.
Also, I think she was going to go for the... she was supposed to be in the I Quit match for the SmackDown title.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't have been Money in the Bank. I'm actually not going Alexa Bliss winning here. I'm actually going Natalia. I believe she's going to win it. There's always one out of nowhere. You don't expect it. She's got a in her career. I think they want to do something nice for her.
Oh, they'll have to be absolutely mad. I mean, yes, they brought back Harry Smith on SmackDown, and he might be in the main roster soon. That would be nice to see. But her surname is Neidhart. They'll never put a decent run behind her heart again. They've learned their lesson from '97. So it's and I know like fair play to Natalya. She's always been the bridesmaid and never the bride. And so if she could have a night, if Tamina could have a night and we could all get behind her and believe it, fantastic. But it's just not been the thing, they've just not had that moment to run with it. And I'm not counting the Divas title at all.
I don't know. I mean, I would love to co-sign on that because I think Natalya is probably one of the better wrestlers. I don't see it happening.
I mean, if they didn't have faith in her, would they have put her and have her winning the first Saudi Arabia women's match?
No, that's not the case because she kind of fought for that. Technically, she was like fighting for that. She's been in Saudi Arabia for like the past a few years, even when they didn't have women's matches, because she wanted to be the first and because she was fighting for that. There's a difference.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like Natalya's experience, both within her family name and obviously her experience within the company, has something to show for. And it's a Hall of Fame career. It's. I think the one thing that's mainly missing from her resume is a decent run and a decent feud. And even when she was with Beth Phoenix 2 years ago and reigniting their tag team, it was just almost there. It was just unfortunate that they were in the company at the same time as the Iconics were tearing it up. So, do you know, Sarah, I'd love to be chatting to you on the Chop Shot on Tuesday and say, wow, Natalya's got the briefcase, or she's somehow cashed in and the world has melted again. But yeah, it remains to be seen. All I will say is Alexa Bliss is the bookie's favorite at the moment.
So that leaves us with our final match of the evening, the men's Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Riddle, Ricochet, John Morrison, Big E, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Seth Rollins.
I'm just going to go through again the graphic and go one by one as I did before, because again, 8 gentlemen who the talent that they have is insane. They could all put on amazing matches in ring, and here they are in the 8. Kevin Owens, don't get me wrong, amazing wrestler. Had a fantastic last man standing match against Sami Zayn to qualify, and he's still arguably the same Kevin Owens of old. He's still got that diehard, I'm gonna throw myself off this thing to kill you attitude that he's definitely got it in him. Drew McIntyre getting himself in this match through a back door, still saying he's got one more shot at him, even though he can't face Bobby Lashley. I mean, like, as much as sort of me and Bryan have been huge fans of Drew McIntyre the last 12 months, do something, turn him heel, do something to make him fresh again. That's what they want to do. But then they've teased for so long that they will do UK preview. Moving on, Matt Riddle, bruh. If they're gonna put the title on Goldberg, bro. Could you imagine if they did that? And that could be such an interesting tool against Randy Orton, who knows a thing or two about cashing in a briefcase at the right time. Ricochet, my beating heart, my all the flips and all the dips he wants to do. Again, are the company brave enough to put the title on him and see where things go? Because he's just got all this talent in the world. I think he's very much lost in the pack. John Morrison, not the same wrestler as he was before. Kind of missing the Miz, I'll argue. I mean, he's just a great tag team player, but he's not really been trusted to go out on his own. Big E, the hot favorite. A lot of people are booking a New Day triple threat because they're mad enough to do so. Obviously he was heavily touted to win the Rumble this year, and then obviously won the IC title on Christmas Day. So it's whether they want to seriously get behind Big E, but then where does he fit in amongst the likes of John Cena, Edge, Goldberg? Is he a credible threat? I'll leave that for you guys to debate. Kingsgate Nakamura taking the belt, taking the crown off Baron Corbin. Can he go back to hitting people with knees again? Like, can we have that Shinsuke Nakamura that was phenomenal at Wrestle Kingdom 9? Can we have it back, please? Thank you. And Seth Rollins. I mean, he's as much as we've discussed about him turning face, and also his wife will be in the audience or be around the arena. What can you do with Seth Rollins? That's annoying. 12 months ago, he was tearing an eye out of Rey Mysterio. Nobody wants to think of that. And the Messiah and what he's doing, he's Mr. Drip, dripping, melting. I don't know. They would have to seriously put marbles behind Seth Rollins to maybe have a go at Roman Reigns and bring up the Shield days. But my money is going on Big E and Kevin Owens. It's going to be between them two. Because I think Big E has got that insane strength. You watch his WWE 24 documentary, the strength that man has, and the laughter and energy, especially after Brody Lee passed away a couple of months ago, of course. There is so much love and passion behind Big E that if he was to win the main belt, the pop would be nuclear big, So it's down between Big E and whether they're willing to give Kevin Owens a chance again, because let's face it, the last time he had the world title in his hands, he had Goldberg mow him down in 21 seconds. And yes, he did have Chris Jericho before Judas came around. It's what to do with him. So Big E is my pick for Mr. Money in the Bank.
I agree with you. I think Big E's winning it. They're not going to cash in right away, and I think he's the one that takes down Bobby Lashley eventually.
I mean, they could go two ways with this. It could either be Big E or Seth Rollins, because, of course, Seth Rollins has a story with Edge, which Edge has a title match. So if they want to put it on Edge, they could easily have Seth cash it in on Edge, and then he wins the title, and then they'll start their feud. I mean, for Big E, it's depending on how the night goes, because it's just do they want both Big E and Kofi Kingston as the champions to end the night? That would be huge. I mean, that's going to be really huge for a lot of people to see two POCs winning the World Heavyweight titles.
What if Big E cashed in on Kofi?
They're not going to do that. They have gone on record saying that they'll never do that.
They are not mad enough.
No, it's not that they're not mad enough. All three of them said that they're not turning on each other. They're not going to do that to each other. I mean, if they agree upon a match with each other, then I would be all for it, but they're not going to turn on each other or do that whole backstabbing thing. No.
I think the only way that they fight each other, they sort of do it in the most face way possible. So, you know what? Should we see how it goes? See what we can do? And sort of shake hands afterwards. That's the way they're going to do it. But there's no way any of those three individuals are going to turn heel. But let's face it. I think they're going to do a Dudley Boys and just reunite them on the quiet, a la Survivor Series 2002.
I mean, they've talked about wanting to do another heel, and they talk about how it's so much fun to be heels. So I think you could see them being heels again for a little while.
They were heels at the right time, though, back in 2015, 2016, where nobody had really challenged to take on Demolition's record of the most consecutive days as tag team champions, and they fought them all. They fought, they fought the Dudley Boys. I go back and watch that, and that was amazing. It was the perfect element of nostalgia and sort of credibility at the same time. They fought the Shield. They fought the Wyatt family. They fought the Ascension. They fought every tag team they could throw over back then, and they were the perfect heels to take them on. So, they're never going to break up the New Day. If they do that, the WWE is on fire.
All right, Orlando, who's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins. I mean, it's because it's. I'm sorry to say this, but it's the safer bet, and plus, technically he has a story, backing him to see like if he does win it, so.
So we're just gonna sleep on Drew.
Hey, they massively want to do a UK pay-per-view. Like that's no secret. Tyson Fury's still got a time in his hands now that he's not facing Deontay Wilder till October. There's no reason to say he could fit in something in November, December. I mean, yes, that's the match between the two. But
wait, isn't it today that they're opening up in England?
We're opening up tomorrow. We're opening up in 1 hour and 38 minutes time. But our cases are nearly 50,000 a day. So madness. But that's a different show. That's a different show. Yeah, it's they want to do big UK numbers. So, but they have to get behind it. I think that's been the main problem with NXT UK. Yes, we've had Walter go out with injury, which is such a huge disappointment considering how immense he is. But if they want to do UK pay-per-view, they're going to need Drew McIntyre to be holding a belt, and the only way that it's going to credibly do that's not involving Bobby Lashley or involving Roman Reigns, is with a briefcase, and he runs in, turns heel, and grabs it. So, I don't see it happening. I think they're going to give him a rest. I'd be more happy to see Sheamus against Drew McIntyre for the US title. That's a good match you can have for SummerSlam. That's Ireland against Scotland in Vegas in August. Yeah, go on then. That sells money. Look, I've got a sword that was made out of the Loch Ness Monster. Well, I've got a hat that should be at a Greyhound track. That's how you sell that match. But yeah, if you had to put a gun to my head and say one, I'm gonna have to go with Big E. I think this is Big E's night. I think this is the moment where in front of fans they're gonna pop massive. Who grabs it?
Okay, I'm gonna go with. I have to go with Seth. By the way, I have no idea what the storylines are currently. I haven't been able to watch either in like a month.
Don't worry, Bryan. You haven't been missing much. You haven't been missing much at all.
No, I don't know.
I do want to squeeze in two more theories quite quickly here. One, if
we are all out of time. Thank you for joining.
If they give it to Ricochet, I will pop so hard. You will see it over my it'll be.
They will never give it to Ricochet. I mean, I love him to death. He's fine as hell. But no, they're not going to give it to Ricochet. I would love it.
The only other theory I have, and again, this would pop hard on the night, is if a mysterious man pops up behind Matt Riddle, pops in the mandible claw. The Fiend is inserted in the match because reasons, and somehow the Fiend wins it.
We're going back to the whole Randy Orton storyline again. No.
It is possible though. So, Luke, are you actually going to watch it live, or are you going to?
Oh, I'm watching it live, baby. I am watching it live. It's got its money in the bank, It's the 5th major of the year, and like a sort of. As any wrestling fan will attest to, this is between the Rumble and tonight. These are the two nights where the big plot points come out. This is like almost a season finale or a season opener for wrestling fans, because we get to find out who are going to be the players in the next 6 to 12 month window that can ultimately decide what happens next, and whoever holds those two briefcases changes history. And you got to look back at forgetting last year. Last year was just stupid, but go back the last 5 or 6 years of the briefcase holders. You've got people like Brock Lesnar because he didn't need it. Braun Strowman had it. Alexa Bliss, of course, became women's Money in the Bank, and she blooming well barged in front of Ronda Rousey. That was just a huge play to do, Obviously, somebody who's on the card. Edge is quite well versed in how to cash in and seize an opportunity. That it's it's a night where things are going to happen, and I'm so ready for it. I'm getting pizza in half an hour. I'm gonna soak it all in, and I want to be talking to you guys on the Chop Shop on Tuesday and losing my mind over it. So bring on Money in the Bank, and let's see what happens next.
There was one theory I spat out, a few months ago, and now that I see there's a slight chance of it happening, I'm kind of scared. We've mentioned how Brock Lesnar a few years ago just barged his way in, took a briefcase, and was considered the winner. I talked about Goldberg doing the same thing this year.
No.
So I apologize in advance if that actually does happen. I was only kidding around. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
I'm just going to say.
I blame it on you. You put that in the universe. How dare you?
If like it's now 27 minutes past 10 British summertime. If the pre-show kicks off in about an hour and a half. If he was to do that, we would know by now that he was in the area. That's all I'm saying. We would know that he's circulating. I think otherwise,
Well, we didn't actually know, not really, because we didn't know that he was at the Raw reunion. Everybody was just like Goldberg. So I think they probably could keep a secret, or he could be under the radar in a sense. So
I think I don't know. I kind of see it on both points. Like, yeah, they can definitely keep him a secret, but since there's so many live fans out, and I don't know. I just hope Sarah is horribly wrong, and shame on her for putting that on in the universe.
I know, right? Shame on you.
The universe will come back to you, Sarah.
Yes, they will.
So if I wake up to a bunch of angry messages, then I guess I'll know.
Yep. Group. Yep. We'll tag you. Okay, everybody tag Sarah if that prediction comes true. Okay.
She may be suspended for 2 weeks with no pay.
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
All right. Payroll's a little behind.
The last thing before we go off air, I do want to go around and ask everyone what their favorite cash in or Money in the Bank moments has been over the years.
For me,
go ahead.
Well, the question's thrown open to the floor, so by all means do discuss.
For me, for males, I think it's CM Punk when he did that to Jeff Hardy, because it changed him into a heel, which of course, like, he worked well as a heel, and it benefited for him because of course it's SmackDown. They have more time to develop a story, so I like that. For women, I actually like Carmella's cash in, because it was after WrestleMania and she was like the first one to hold it for so long. So
Charlotte hater. For me, the men, it was the heist of the century when Seth Rollins cashed in right at WrestleMania, won the title. And then for me, the women was Alexa Bliss cashing in, same night she won it. She cashed in and got the disqualification for, in the Ronda Nia Jax match. And then cashed in and won.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first Money in the Bank that I ever saw was last year.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. Because he was off for a few years, so he didn't probably see like when they were having the Money in the Bank ladder matches.
Yeah, and I just looked to see what year like Money in the Bank came around, and it was 2010. So
no, 2005. The first
WrestleMania
one was
21, Hollywood, California. That Edge winning the first Money in the Bank, and the first cash in was January 2006. 15 and a half years of the history of the concept, and let's face it, it's such a unique selling point that every wrestling company ever since has piggybacked off of. We now have the casino battle royale. We now have opportunities like that where it's just a great format. Even in 50 years time, we'll be still saying Money in the Bank is just a fantastic.
They used to do the Money in the Bank matches at WrestleMania. 2010 is when it became its own pay-per-view.
And I remember like 05, like I remember the tag team. Oh no, that was a TLC match. So
yeah. It was a TLC, yeah.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't know.
All right.
Well, we will. Do you guys want to go over your favorites? Luke, what was your favorites?
I mean, we sort of talked a little bit about CM Punk. Obviously, the summer of 2009, I think, was arguably the summer of Punk against Jeff Hardy. Those matches were incredible. SummerSlam match, their feud was incredible. Just a shame that the Undertaker came and ruined it, which is a very rare sentence to say. Kane deserved that cash in. I mean, he first person to cash it in. Obviously, won it on the pay per view, and then about half an hour cashed in on poor Rey Mysterio. He deserved better at that time. But yeah, you said it, Sarah. The heist of the 7th century. If you're going to cash in the main event of WrestleMania, you're going to do it. And when it stunk of Lesnar and Reigns, it's just a genius move to go there. But I'm going to counter that and say RVD One Night Stand 2006 perfection.
Mm-hmm.
I remember something about that.
Yeah. He was the first one to actually cash in advance. So
He
so
cashed in advance. If Cena wins, we riot. Edge causing the interference. Paul Heyman counting the pin. RVD becomes ECW and WWE champion. Like, it was just one of those nights, and I spoke about it recently, with it being the 15th anniversary. One of those nights we'll never see again. We'll never see Money in the Bank 2011 again. But we, as wrestling fans, we live to see something that could match it, if not eclipse that those sort of nights. So who knows?
Who knows, indeed.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us here. Don't forget, check us out on Twitter, BuckleBombENT. Like us on Facebook and our Facebook discussion group. We are running a contest. When a group gets up to 200 members, we will give a random member away either Buckle Bomb t-shirt or Pro Wrestling Tees gift card.
I did not know we were doing that.
Yeah, I didn't know. Can we enter? Can we fraud it now and all turn heel?
All right.
There will be the drawing will be done live. So go ahead and get
Heel turn confirmed.
200. That was just announced yesterday, late last night, so that's probably why you guys didn't see it. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook page and, of course, YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Give us that 5-star review. Have a
And
great
you
night.
can find me on Twitter at Bryan Bella BBE.
You can follow me at Twitter at Orly1985_BBE. Go ahead and give me a follow.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at OneWalshMeister. We'll be sure to hear your views and thoughts on Money in the Bank. I don't know what else to say, really. Tune into the Chop Shop on Tuesday for all the reaction.
We'll record it Tuesday, and it'll be released on Wednesday. Check out and see how we did and who will be the Buckle Bomb pay-per-view champion of the month. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.